Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I had this question about less lethal or lethal. It kind of works the same way. I am blessed enough. I purchased a house, which is a blessing to do. Trust me. But one thing I'm kind of getting used to being a house again is security. I'm not worried about the security aspect as far as my cameras. I'm pretty good there, but the security as in my loadout in my house. Are you a believer of having your weapon close by, like your front door? Or do you believe that everything should be in the back and then you bring it out? Or you feel like, you got a weapon somewhere close? I'm not saying you're going to be 007 where you tap the wall, then the gun rack spin, and then you're going to be John Wick with it. But do you feel like that you need to broadcast that you have it? I've been to people's houses, or I've been in neighborhoods like I am 2A and proud to use it. And I get it, some neighborhoods where you really got to broadcast, like, yo, don't F with this house. I do got weapons. And for the most part, you think twice if you're gonna rob them, But at the same time, you don't want to be the crazy old person, like, get off my lawn, and you got the eye patch, and you sing too many words, and nobody can come to your house or sell you Girl Scout cookies either. So which one is the appropriate? Is to broadcast that you have weapons and let people know, yo, do not cross this line? Or do you feel like, discreet is golden? And I think it's a little bit of both. I think it's a bit of element of surprise, but also you can't be over the top with it. But it also depends on the neighborhood, depends on HOA. If you're blessed enough to live in a $500,000 house, most likely neighborhoods is a little bit better, and you got Miss Millie walking her poodle and her German Shepherd, or they, power walking, versus if you go to middle class or slight middle class, and you got Miss Johnson, and she got sons that are grown, but they don't work, and they stay on the front porch all day, and they don't have no job. You may want to broadcast a little bit more that you got weapons, because people really watch your patterns and see if you dare a lot. Now, the best security is not guns, it's cameras. It holds up better legal, and you're able to do more legal wise when you have guns, versus if you bring your gun, it's up for debate based upon the circumstance, and you gotta prove it among a body of 12 that you have Catholic doctrine on your side, and you use your weapons accordingly. But that could be hit or miss based upon the state laws. So it's up for debate, about guns, how close, how think when I think about it, I would have a gun safe in the front room, but not the big tall ones. Like the big ones where, you know, like you in the Wild West and it's the Duttons, and you bring everybody bringing a gun from the, you know, from the gun safe, and you about to ride out for a vigilante gang shooting like it's the Old West. I don't think, you know, you need that. Now back in the West, you need all that, and plus everybody should have guns in the West, and then hire people, and then teach your daughters and your kids. Hell, if your horse can you know, have a hoof, they should be carrying guns. But this is a different time than the Wild West, you know. So I think it's a little bit of both. You need discreet, but you need to let people know, but not over the top. And I'm speaking for me. I'm not a police officer. I'm not a person in war. I don't gun expert. You know, I can't shoot from my back. To be honest, I need to practice shooting. I haven't done it in a little bit of time. Because life, you know. So I think it's a discreet about everything, and you gotta tailor it based upon your needs. For me, I gotta get my TCR fixed again. That would be my go-to night gun or night launcher if something come bump in the night, and then I will have my lethal as my sidearm. So if it's a raccoon, you just shoot a few pellets and boom. But if it's somebody try to rob your car, you have a split second. Is it a lethal or a less lethal situation? Now, you can use less lethal and they live, but you can do lethal and it may not even be a lethal situation. But who to say in the time of crisis? You know what I'm saying? In the time of crisis, who can say? Because you only got 2 seconds to decide if this is a lethal or a less lethal. When I had a house a couple years ago and this kid was just stupid, but he was pranking the doorbell because it was some TikTok thing, doorbell, and he was stupid because if you posted that you did the video publicly, and then everybody got doorbells. So I still have the video of his face, you know, ring doorbell. If I really wanted to, I could have went to the police, say, hey, this kid, and the sad thing, this stupid person, he knew the kid that was in my house, so he thought it was fun. If I knew that, I could have took it to the police and made it big issues and all that. But, you know, it was just kids being kids. But they don't think wise, and we all didn't. We just thought this would be cool right now, but not a long-term effect of, you know, I may be affected. So, you know, it's all for discreet, it's all for conversation. You know, based upon what your need is. Some people, you know, you need your lethal or your less lethal. You know, I've always had my less lethal on the side of my couch, and then I have my salt supply S2 on the side of my bed, you know, loaded. And then I have my G2C 9mm in the safe, because I'm not worried about, you know, lethal less lethal, you know, it may be a bad decision, but you're not going to die. Lethal, you can die from that. So it's just up for discretion. It's up, you know, your family dynamics. In this legal age where everybody is a snitch, you may think twice about having your lethal or less lethal out, because kids talk and then they tell teachers, and teachers gonna be, oh my God, Johnny had a gun to his head, and it's not even that serious. But we live in that type of generation where everybody's a snitch. Some people deserve to get snitched on, and then some, a lot of times, people overreact for the wrong reason. So it's up for debate, right? So, all right, guys, have a good one.